You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.
Good morning, everyone. This is Radio Mayapur. This is Gangadas, your host from Italy, living in Mayapur for a long time. And today is a very beautiful day, nice sunshine and clear sky. In the night, it's getting a little cold. We need a blanket to sleep. And the daytime is warm and pleasant. So today we are very, very fortunate to have with us one great soul. His name is Tulasi. He's from Bulgaria. And he's born in Sofia in 1981. And he's a wonderful devotee. It looks like a very beautiful baby face. He's doing Sankirtan and he's a great devotee. I know him for a long time. I've been in Sofia. We did some pizza preparation, cooking class for the devotee there. And so we're going to ask to Tulsidas Prabhu, because he's in Mayapur, he comes every year. So we're going to ask him some nice questions today. Tulsi Prabhu, please tell us a bit about your background, your family. You are born in 1981, so you're a kid. You're not very old. And so tell us a little bit about your family, when you grew up, and what was the story, your father, mother, brother and sister. Tell us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ganga Prabhu.
Haribol.
Yeah, my story is not something special. I'm coming from a normal family, workers' family. My father is a builder. My mother is working in a hospital. And I grew up as a normal kid, playing all day. I was into sports a lot, training, basketball.
What type of sports? Basketball. Wow. You are quite tall, actually. 6 feet.
Not so much, but
6 feet.
yeah.
1.8 meter.
Even at some point, I was very ambitious to make a big muscles.
Wow.
It didn't work out, as you can see. Maybe spiritual muscles in the future.
Absolutely. And then
you
have a brother, sister?
I have one brother.
Elder or younger?
He's much younger than me, 11 years difference.
Okay.
And he's, as a kilos, he's 2 times bigger than me. I am 65 kilos, he's 108.
So he's a bodybuilder?
He is a big boy, yeah.
You put your desire into him, or what's the story?
Actually, yeah, I guess the arrangement of Krishna was, he had to become the big one because we are using him every year as a bodyguard for the Ratha Yatra festival.
Wow, that's nice.
So he's doing some service, gradually getting more and more serious in Krishna consciousness.
Nice. And your father and mother are still there in Sofia? Or?
Yes, they are still with us on this world. They were, in the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, they were a little bit suspicious, afraid what will happen with their boy. But now, after so many years, I see a big difference. Like my mother, sometimes she's chanting a little bit. She's offering everything that is possible to be offered at home. Nice. Because my father, he's into meeting things also.
Okay.
But somehow they found their way to do something.
That's good. Improving their life just because you're a devotee. That's a wonderful magic moment. But tell us how you come in contact with the devotee, or with the books, or with Prasadam. Who was the person, or where did you meet, or you connect with the devotees?
I was actually quite fortunate to meet the devotees very early. I was 16 or 17. And of course, these are the years that generally teenagers, they want to try everything in life. So I also tried everything in life. And still I was not feeling completely satisfied, happy with my life as a general. Companies, girls, alcohol, everything. Whatever I tried, it was giving you a little bit more happiness than the normal that you have every day, but not something special. So one day I was just staying in the center of Sofia. I was eating my healthy sandwich in order to make
strong.
Yes. And suddenly a lady came in front of me and she said, "Oh, can I show you some books?" I said, "What kind of books?" She said, "Well, about yoga, meditation." I said, "Yeah, why not?" So she showed me the books, and I don't know why. I never had idea. Generally, my family was not really religious. So I never had really idea about spirituality, even about yoga, all these things. And I don't know why I just asked her. I was always very interested to know what is yoga actually. I don't know why I asked this question.
Something from previous life, maybe.
Maybe. So she said, "Oh, you want to know? Okay, let me read something for you." And I remember she opened a very thick red book and she started reading verses from this book. And these verses are, maybe you recognize some of them. Basically, what is the use to build a house when you can live in caves? What is the use to use a pillow when you can use your hands, and so on and so on, like that. Maybe she read around 10 verses. I was just listening.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I was trying kind of to proceed the information. So is this yoga? My idea about yoga was someone is sitting with closed eyes and
meditating.
Yes. So she started explaining, speaking to me, and then she asked me for donation. And I said, "Sure, I'll give you donation. The only problem is I have only 30 cents in my pocket." So she said, "No problem, give them." And she gave me a book, a small book.
Wow.
Perfection of Yoga.
That's a beautiful book.
Yeah, and she said, "Here you go, read the book. If you like it, come by, we have a place." And I went home and I started reading the book. For 1 week, I
finished the book.
Of course, it's a small book.
100 pages, 120 something.
Yes, it was very, just by seeing the book, it was looking very attractive and also special. The format of the book was very unique. It was not like the normal book somehow. And when you turn back, on the front page, you have this picture. I think Krishna is speaking with Uddhava. And then on the back, you have Srila Prabhupada, very interesting picture of Srila Prabhupada with so much sandal on his face.
On the forehead.
Yes. So I was wondering, what is this man? He looks so strange. What is this yellow thing? Like, but it was really provoking me to look at it and to think about it. And then when I started reading the book, actually, Prabhupada, he can speak strongly. So I was seeing what he's saying, it's true. But at the same time, I was wondering why he's speaking so boldly, so strongly, especially against some kind of people, like Mayavadis or scientists. Or So I was really intrigued about the book. And then after a week, I went to see what's going on.
In the temple in Sofia.
It was actually like a Sankirtan center. It was not really a temple.
It was a house.
It was a house. It was locked from everywhere, so I couldn't enter. So then at the end, someone opened the door for me. I had to go through a very narrow, completely dark corridor, 4 or 5 meters. So
Scary.
I was already a little bit. And then I opened the door, and basically I entered into a garage. That was the center. It was just a garage. Which was made into a temple.
Kind of temple,
And I just sat down, and after a while, 2-3 devotees came with their special clothes. I never saw something like that. And then they took out some special instruments I also never saw, kartals and mridanga. And then they just opened a cupboard, and there was a deities there.
Wow.
A dove, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra.
Wow.
Very small, maybe like 15 centimeters tall. Nice. So everything was like very
mystical,
interesting, not really scary, but unknown. Yes. And then I went through the whole program, and I was just sitting there and looking around. And then at the end, one brahmachari came to me and gave me a huge plate of prasadam.
Whoa.
So at that time, I was eating a lot because of the ambition to make muscles. I was eating 7 times a day.
Right.
But the quantity of prasadam that he brought, I told him, this is enough for 2 days. I cannot eat this. Just forget about it. And he said, no problem. Just sit down, relax, and speak with the devotees, and you'll see you eat it. And yeah, it's true. After maybe 1.5 hours, it was gone. And the most interesting thing was that when I left, I was feeling so, the word is ecstatic.
You were charged up.
Yeah, I didn't have any heaviness from the big quantity of prasadam, or I was feeling I will start flying.
Wow.
So then I said to myself, okay, this is very nice, very interesting, but I shouldn't come too often here because it's getting dangerous. I can become really attached to it. So I put on myself like a quota, I won't come more than once in a month for the beginning. That was my...
Nice.
So yeah, basically in this way, I start coming to the devotees, and after maybe a year or a year and a half, I finish my college studies. I finish a school for hotel management and tourism.
Nice.
And then I had to start the real life. And my parents, they told me, no, you got such good marks, just continue studying. But I was not seeing any future in studying. Like, I studied for 12 years, and I was thinking, now I have to study another 5-6 years. And why? Just I couldn't accept that this will continue to be my life. So basically I said, no, I don't want to do that. And then said, okay, then you have to start making money, start working. And I shared with the devotees this. They told me, well, why don't you just start working book distribution? Distribute books.
Nice. That's nice.
I said, it's a great idea. There is only one problem. My parents, they want to see that I'm bringing something. And they thought about it, and they said, okay, no problem. If you want to distribute the books, just distribute them, pay the books, and whatever profit you make for a certain amount of time, just keep it for yourself. So that you can show your parents you are making money, you are independent, and you can go on in this way. And I did it, and my parents, they said, okay, if you're making money, fair enough.
That's a good working arrangement, yes. But what was I wanted to ask you, this is a fantastic story, but at what point you thought that after distributing books, after studying for so many years, at which point you thought maybe I should become a devotee or join the temple? What was the thought in your mind which makes you so attracted to think, okay, now I'm ready for this and to go deeper into it?
Actually, I'm from the people that they don't like to take decision fast. Okay. You have different kinds of people.
Yes.
Generally, try always to look very carefully the situation and wait and see that everything is fine. So basically, that was also my way to enter in Krishna consciousness.
Nice.
First, I started going to the temple. Then devotees, they made a vegetarian course. So I said to my mother and father, okay, I am going for a vegetarian course. Of course, they didn't know it's Hare Krishna course, but it would work out. And then I start traveling every day, going to the temple. I was traveling 1.5 hours to go to the temple, go on a morning program, get the books, go out on Sankirtan, and then come back in the evening.
Nice.
So after maybe more than half year traveling like that, I said to my parents, you see, I'm really tired from all this traveling. Let me just go and sleep there, where is my work, in Monday evening, and Tuesday evening, and Wednesday evening, and maybe Thursday evening, and Friday I'll come back. And I'll stay here for 3-4 days. That's for cool. The weekend. And they didn't like the idea very much, but at the end of the day, they said, okay, you're independent. I was maybe 19 at that time. So they said, okay, you want to do it? Fair enough. So in this way, I started really spending some time with the devotees. But I didn't have the courage to ask them, can I just come and live with you? So maybe after 1 year or so, devotees, they said, you are anyway sleeping 3-4 nights in a week here. Why don't you just
Stay with us.
Yes, move. And I said, well, it's a good idea. Okay, let's do it gradually. So I started, instead of Thursday evening, to go home Friday morning, then Friday evening, then Saturday morning. And gradually my parents, they got used to it. They said, okay, that's your life. Do whatever you want. Actually, it's very interesting. In the beginning, they had, we could say, 3 complaints. First, they were saying, we want you to stop to be a Hare Krishna and find a very good job and get married. Then maybe after 5 years, they said, okay, you can be a Hare Krishna, no problem, but at least find a good job and get married. And then maybe after another 5 years or so, they said, okay, we understand. You'll be a Hare Krishna, you'll be do whatever you're doing, like your book distribution or whatever, but at least get married.
Yes.
So this day still...
They're still asking you.
This day, yes.
Do you want to get married? We can arrange. We have a lot of girls here.
I know. Mayapur is a good place to get married and to have a good life. Well,
No,
I try to stick in this lifestyle, and let's see if Krishna allows me.
How old are you now?
42.
Yeah, maybe you already passed the stage of getting married. It's difficult when you're getting more and more old. But do you apply some of the study you did to tourism and management in your spiritual life as well, on your personal level or on the organizational level?
I was not so much involved in management.
Okay.
Maybe just managing a little bit the traveling Sankirtan party. But of course, living in the temple, yes, these abilities, they help. Like you are receiving guests, how to receive the guests, how to prepare for their arrival, their room, all these things. You learn nice things. Like, for example, sometimes we were cleaning the room for guests with other devotees. And I was telling them, you have to clean really nicely everywhere. And they were cleaning. But then when I was doing this in hotels, they were teaching us how to check if the room is really clean.
Yes.
So then I was going and checking, let's say, on the top of the door. And I was saying, no, you didn't clean. They were saying, oh, but you didn't tell us we have to clean there. I said, everywhere. Well, first devotee that inspired me, he's still a devotee, very nice, very serious devotee. He's living in London, Bhaktivedanta Manor.
You want to mention his name also?
His name is Shasha Bindu Prabhu.
Okay.
With his wife and 2 kids.
Nice.
When I joined, he saw me, and I guess he decided, okay, this reasonable boy to work with. And he gave me so much time. Basically, for 6 months, he was with me from morning till evening. He trained me in everything, like the philosophy, practical things, how to deal with the devotees, everything. So I'm very, very, very grateful to him. And then later I met another very nice devotee. You could say, like, everybody is looking for his soulmate in life.
Yes.
Well, I could say this is maybe, to a big extent, my soulmate in Krishna Consciousness. His name is Pandava Prabhu.
Oh, yeah. You are always together with him when we come there.
Yes.
You
Nice
look like twins.
brahmachari.
You are always together, doing things together.
Basically, we were always traveling together. First time we came to India, it was together. Actually, if I have to give him some credit, he went and he worked for almost 2 years in Radhadesh and BLS. This is an online store for books, Shiva Prabhupada books, so that he can get the money, so that both of us, we can come here the first time to do Bhakti Shastri. So I'm eternally indebted to him as well. And yeah, since then we are basically traveling always together, doing books together. We spent almost 15 or 16 years coming every year together in Mayapur, studying. Yeah. I was doing mainly studies in MI, doing all the different courses there. He was studying in the beginning in MI, then he started helping in the Bhaktivedanta Academy, in the Gurukul, preparing the materials for the adult education, all the philosophy materials.
Nice. It's nice to have a close friend like that you can confide and you travel together, you have same interests. So this is, I kind of think it's a safe situation for the traveling monks. Traveling around the world is nice to be, not to be alone, and somebody's with you always, you can guide each other, help each other, and be remaining Krishna consciousness. Now, Tulasi Prabhu, you are doing the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vedanta, and then Bhakti Vaibhav. So you are the PhD of Krishna consciousness, I should say, because you went through. Tell us a little bit about this Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vedanta, and so how the progressive study goes, and the philosophy and memory of the book. Tell us more about this study, which you are fortunate to do this. I never did it because I was traveling in Sankirtan and then managing temple and this and that. So I never had time to study. And now I'm too old, I guess, to start now. I don't have enough gray matter inside the head to remember things. But tell us your experience. Here in Mayapur, you studied Bhakti Shastri first. Yeah. Which year it was?
I came 2004, 2005 and did Bhakti Shastri. At that time, I didn't have any plans to continue really studying a lot, but sometimes Krishna have a different plan. So my guru, His Holiness Kadambakana Maharaj, he, after these first years of study, he told me, well, I think it will be very nice for you and for your spiritual life to continue coming every year in Mayapur and study at least 6 months.
That's nice.
Good basically, yeah. He said, come in Mayapur, study 6 months, invest in education, in developing your character, and then go back to the West, to Europe, and preach, do something for the mission.
Nice.
And okay, this is the desire of Guru, so I try to do it. To be honest, it was not so easy because, as you are saying for yourself, you couldn't really study a lot in your life. You are more man of action.
Yes.
I also, at that time, being like 23 or 4, I couldn't imagine that my whole day will be just studying from morning to evening. It's too much. Like, you are young, you have so much energy. So I was even complaining sometimes to my friend Pandava, I cannot understand why Maharaj wants me to study. I'm not a scholar. Just give me some books. I'm simple guy. Just allow me to go for a few hours on the street. I'll do the books and then I'll go home to the temple and do Gaur Arati, eat some prasadam, and my life is excellent.
Happy life.
So basically, I had to push myself to be able to follow the instructions of Maharaj. But now, after all these years, I see how great was his vision. Because now I see how this is giving me so many opportunities. Like, for example, in the last few years, since the COVID started, so we had to spend more time in the West. We started doing Bhakti Shastri in my country, in Bulgaria, and devotees were so grateful. Then we spent the last 1 year in New York, in the Brooklyn Temple. And we started also doing some courses there, also Bhakti Shastri course, which is going on still. So it's a good opportunity to do something for the devotees.
You said some word which resounded to me. It's like, why not invest in some of your time? When I see all these famous athletes, or I was in motorcycle sports and racer, Formula One, and motocross, and I can see these people when we see them in television or we see them, they're competing and they're the best, but we only see them for the time they compete. But then we don't see the backside. It's like they invest so much of their time and years in training themselves to become what they are today. So when you say, why not invest in some of my time in study? So this investing of our time, what is our attention, what we desire, what do we want to become? Because every second of our life we have a choice. So if we invest our time in studying those books and teaching those books, that's a very powerful tool by which we can remember constantly. So the investment is very great you did, and your Guru Maharaj was right, because now you are teaching. You are one of the teachers in your own language and also in New York. So everybody should invest some of his time into, understanding what is Krishna consciousness. So, but what is the difference between Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav and Bhaktivedanta, let's say? Because I don't know. I'm just asking, curious.
Yeah. Bhakti Shastri is a basic study of 4 books: Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, and Shri Upanishad. It's like a basic course that nowadays in ISKCON we are trying that all the devotees at some point go through this course so that they know the basic philosophy of Krishna consciousness. And I remember when I did this course, actually, next year, when I finished the course, I was thinking I couldn't really, the time was not enough to really understand the philosophy. Like you go really little bit in a rush through the books.
Yeah,
you are doing it
fast.
Especially here at that time in Mayapur Institute. At that time, Mayapur Institute was MIHE.
Yes.
Mayapur Institute for Higher Education. So it was just 3.5 months. So it's not enough to understand even
all these books.
Yes. And then next year, the news came that Bhaktivedanta Swami will teach the whole Bhagavad Gita on Bhakti Shastri. So I said, okay, I want to do that. So I went second time on Bhakti Shastri.
Again, 3.5 months or 4 months?
Yes. And then I was, okay, now I kind of
understand.
Little bit I know the philosophy. So that's Bhakti Shastri. Then Bhakti Vaibhava is studying the first 6 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay.
First to 6th canto. It generally takes here in Mayapur 2 years.
Wow.
And then Bhaktivedanta means study of the next cantos from Bhagavatam, 6 to 12. But
and
this
completing
takes...
the Bhagavatam, that means you are completing and studying the whole Bhagavatam.
Yeah. This takes longer because 10th canto is very big. So it takes 4 years to finish Bhaktivedanta. And
but 4 years you have to be there every day. How does it work on a practical level?
Every year, 4 months.
Every year, 4 months. Okay. Then you come back next
yes.
month.
Just you have to be steady.
Yeah.
You have to be able to make your plan that every year, at least for 4 months, you're in.
But you make notes and everything. It's not like you come back next year, I forgot whatever I said.
You make notes.
Sometimes it happened to me, start to read the Bhagavatam to 5th count and then I forgot what was it. I don't know.
The notes were there, but actually, if I have to be honest, I think that the greatest asset of these courses were the great Vaishnavas that were teaching us. That was, I could say, the crest jewel of the whole.
Wow.
Of course, like devotees like Janivas Prabhu,
yes,
Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, many great Vaishnavas were coming and teaching us. So basically, this is what stays, this association. They don't give you just knowledge, they rather give you a value system, understanding what means to be a Vaishnava, how you should live as a Vaishnava, what is the culture, where's the culture in Mayapur, all these things you can learn. So it's not just the notes that you are taking with you.
Were you allowed to record, for example?
Yeah. Actually, there was official recordings and whoever wants can get them.
And they give you also the material by which you can study. And
yes.
That's very nice.
It's a nice course.
It's beautiful. So would you recommend any devotee? Of course. Yes.
I definitely recommend whoever has little bit free time, just come to Mayapur, stay for a few months and invest in going through some courses.
Would you recommend the Bhakti Shastra class as a requirement for first initiation?
I wouldn't put it as a requirement, but I would say that it's very, very, very nice if devotees who are desiring to become a serious devotees, initiated devotee means serious devotees, to go through it. because it gives you better understanding why you are doing something, why I want to be a devotee, what I want to achieve in this life. Otherwise, we can be a devotees and we can
Float.
yeah, we can desire so many things. Like, why I'm devotee? Well, because I heard in this way I will be better in my business or whatever. We can have so many different understandings and motivations. So from this perspective, I would say it's very, very nice.
Now, would you say that, okay, what's your future plan? I mean, like you spoke about, I want to be a devotee, I have a desire. I know that the desire in our heart is like a compass, which is guiding us. So what's desire in your heart? What you develop, this year of study and understanding Srila Prabhupada's scriptures, Vedas, Bhagavatam, which direction you're going, and how do you see yourself in 10 or 20 or 30 years, for example?
It's difficult to see myself. But, well, what I would like to see that I'm growing more and more in Krishna consciousness. I'm, first, maybe the most important, I am finding a way how I can be happy and satisfied in Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
Because if I'm not, I won't be able to continue in this life. So that's, I think, the most important. And definitely part of this is to have good connections with the devotees in the Hare Krishna movement, in ISKCON. Otherwise,
association.
Yeah. Without good association, how are you going to be happy?
Yeah, it's impossible.
If someone is pure devotee from the spiritual world, maybe he can be happy just associating 24 hours with Krishna, but for us generally it's not possible.
Okay, but you talk about happiness. When I'm happy. So what is giving you great happiness? Because there are different people that have great happiness, in the material world. People become very happy if I make a lot of money, I have a big house, a beautiful wife and children, whatever, a car, motorbike. But what's your standard or level of happiness in Krishna consciousness for you?
Well, me personally, like many devotees, they can find happiness, let's say, if they achieve something big in Krishna consciousness. For example, I know you do a lecture in front of 2,000 people, or you make kirtan or Mayapur kirtan or whatever, which is very nice. And definitely this gives some happiness in life. But my personal realization is that even if all these things are there, if you don't have a good friends and good relationships in Krishna consciousness, you won't be able to be happy for a long time.
Correct.
So that's my understanding about happiness.
In the scripture they say Manamoya, different level, but I'm thinking myself always that the happiness should come from the chanting of the holy name.
That's also there, of course.
Because it can come from prasadam, but yeah, I guess. But prasadam
This should be always there, yes. The holy name, the prasadam.
Yeah.
But it's more fun when you can share
absolutely
the chanting and the prasadam with the devotees. Then it's getting more fun.
Nice. Tulsi Prabhu, tell me how you end up choosing everybody of us as some inspiration to choose a spiritual master. So I know His Holiness Kadambakananda Maharaj, my close friend. He was here in Mayapur in 1980, and we were building together Srila Prabhupada Samadhi. Wonderful personality. So how did you, amongst all the spiritual masters, we have more than maybe 100 spiritual masters in ISKCON.
Why him exactly?
How did you choose him, or he chose you, or there was a revelation, your dream? I don't know. I'm just asking. I am curious.
All three at the same time. Well, actually, because in the beginning, most of the devotees that I associated with were disciples of Suhotra Swami. He was like the main preacher in Bulgaria at that time.
And he was from Bulgaria.
He's from US, Suhotra Swami, but he was the guru in Bulgaria at that time.
Right.
So
he spoke the language also?
No.
Did you learn? No.
Not really.
No.
Devotees were translating. Okay. But the point is, I like his disciples, and I said, well, then I will also become a disciple of Suhotra Swami. And he actually said that he accepted me as an aspiring disciple.
Nice.
But then after maybe a year or so, he said that he won't give initiations anymore. So then I didn't know what to do. And then I start looking around for other options. At that time, not so many gurus were coming to Bulgaria.
Right.
Small country,
Yes.
East Europe. You are not like in London or whatever.
Yes.
And after maybe 1 or 2 years, I had the chance to spend some time in Radhadesh in Belgium, which is a bigger Hare Krishna place. So more gurus were coming. I managed to see different gurus. And I first time when I saw Kadambakana Maharaj, he came. He was very energetic. I like his style, his kirtans, of course, and his way of presenting Krishna consciousness in a very thoughtful and very personal way, according to the person.
Nice.
And I had the opportunity to speak with him. I asked him different questions. I liked the way how he was answering. So gradually we started developing some relationship.
Nice.
So then I had a dream.
Whoa.
Like generally we don't take dreams super like.
Yeah, sure. But when they're directly in connection with Guru and Krishna or devotee, then we take them a little bit serious.
Sometimes, yeah, we can.
Yes.
If they are confirmed by the
Paramatma,
Guru
yeah.
and Paramatma and the Vaishnavas. So anyway, the dream was very interesting. The dream was, that was little later. I was already here in Mayapur. Kadambakana Maharaj came here to teach also in MI, Bhakti Shastri. And then I had this dream that I am getting initiated and Kadambakana Maharaj is giving me the initiation, but Shodra Maharaj is also there.
Wow.
And he basically kind of said that he is giving me the initiation on behalf of Shodra Maharaj. It was a little bit like that. It's so very strange. So then my friend Pandava, he went to Kadambakana Maharaj and told him, Maharaj, my friend Tulasi, he had a dream that you're giving him initiation. And Maharaj looked at him and jokingly said, okay, tell him then to start getting ready for it. And then he said, okay, let's see what's the plan of Krishna. So then gradually we were associating more, and we developed nice relationship.
Nice.
And after a while, Maharaj said, okay, I think you are ready. Well, definitely I can say this from the core of my heart. If you have some spare time, please do come to Vrindavan and Mayapur and spend some time. Because as Kadambakana Maharaj told me many years, you see after spending 6 months in Mayapur, your life will be transformed. And I can say it is transformed, and I'm sure everyone who spends longer periods in the Holy Dham, he will feel the same thing. And maybe, yeah, if I have to think about some message for the devotees, I would say, let's, like Srila Prabhupada wanted this society to be built on love and trust. So let's try to do it. Let's associate more. Now the society is getting really bigger and bigger, which is the success of this society.
Yes.
But at the same time, we should not become a big impersonal society for
Yes.
Krishna consciousness.
Yes,
We should
yes.
stay big personal society. So let's associate and let's know what's going on with each other, and let's help each other. And then more and more people automatically will be attracted to be part of this society, I would say.
United we stand, divided we fall, Srila Prabhupada
Yes.
says. So I'd like to thank you very much for coming here today and do this podcast with us. I'm sure that all the listeners will be very much appreciating. And Hare Krishna. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you,
Hare
Ganga
Bol.
Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
You're listening to Radio Mayapur with the best devotional, meditation, kirtan music, and inspirational podcast. This is Radio Mayapur.